Dominick "Quiet Dom" Cirillo, a prominent figure in the American Mafia, was known for his quiet demeanor and low profile, which earned him his nickname. Born in 1929, Cirillo became a key member of the Genovese crime family, one of the most powerful and organized crime families in New York. His life in organized crime spanned several decades, largely in the shadows, where he carefully maintained his reputation as a quiet but calculating operator. Here's a look at his life, especially his movements across different cities, his involvement in murders, and his portrayal in documentaries. Early life and introduction to crime, New York City. Dominick Cirillo was born and raised in the Bronx, New York City, where he entered the world of organized crime. He grew up in an Italian-American neighborhood, which provided fertile ground for his introduction to the Mafia. By the 1950s, Cirillo had aligned himself with the Genovese crime family, climbing the ranks under the leadership of powerful mobsters like Vito Genovese, who controlled much of New York's Mafia activity. In New York, Cirillo's activities were primarily centered around loan sharking, extortion, gambling, and racketeering. Known for his low profile and ability to evade law enforcement, Cirillo gradually built a reputation as a trusted soldier and later a capo, captain, in the Genovese family. Despite his significant role, Quiet Dom rarely attracted attention, preferring to work behind the scenes and avoiding the flashy lifestyle that led many of his contemporaries to downfall. Ascendancy in the Genovese family. Cirillo's rise within the Genovese crime family mirrored the fortunes of the family itself. As he gained influence, he became a trusted associate of Vincent, the Chin Gigante, the enigmatic boss of the Genovese family who famously faked mental illness to avoid law enforcement. Cirillo operated as Gigante's lieutenant, overseeing various criminal operations, especially in New York City. New York Mafia wars and murders. The 1980s and 1990s were a turbulent period for the Mafia in New York, with infighting among the five families and increased pressure from the FBI. Though Cirillo was not directly involved in many high-profile killings, his role in the family would have included overseeing violent disputes and maintaining control over the family's territory. While there is no direct evidence that Cirillo himself committed murders, his position within the family meant that he likely had a hand in orchestrating or approving various killings to maintain order. Cirillo's reputation for maintaining peace within the family was crucial after the turbulent leadership of Gigante, who was arrested in 1990. Cirillo briefly became the acting boss of the Genovese family during Gigante's incarceration, further solidifying his power and influence. Moving across different cities. Though Cirillo's base of operations remained largely in New York City, the Genovese family's influence stretched across multiple cities, especially in the Northeast and parts of New Jersey. The family had rackets in cities such as Philadelphia, Newark, Atlantic City, and Boston. Cirillo was known to travel between these cities as he managed family operations, keeping a close eye on territories that brought in profits through gambling, construction fraud, and loan sharking. Philadelphia. In the 1990s, Philadelphia was an important center for Mafia operations. The Genovese family had a foothold there through associates and allies. While Cirillo did not reside in Philadelphia, he would have likely overseen operations or met with other Mafia leaders, ensuring the Genovese family's interests were being protected. New Jersey. New Jersey was another important territory for Cirillo. Many Mafia families, including the Genovese family, controlled organized crime in cities like Newark and Jersey City. Cirillo's influence was strong here, particularly in controlling labor unions and construction projects, two key sources of income for the family. Arrests and legal trouble. Despite his quiet demeanor, Cirillo wasn't immune to law enforcement. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Cirillo faced increased scrutiny from federal authorities as the FBI and local law enforcement ramped up efforts to dismantle organized crime in New York. In 2004, he was indicted on charges of racketeering and extortion related to the Genovese family's operations. Although he had been careful to avoid direct involvement in violent crimes, Cirillo's connection to the criminal underworld made him a target. He was convicted on several charges, but because of his age and health issues, Cirillo largely avoided long prison sentences, receiving relatively lenient treatment from the courts. Even during his trials, Cirillo maintained a calm, quiet demeanor, in line with his reputation. Retirement and later life. In his later years, Cirillo slowly retired from the day-to-day operations of the Mafia, largely because of health concerns. By the mid-2000s, he had stepped down as the acting boss of the Genovese family, allowing younger members to take over. Despite his departure from leadership, Cirillo remained a respected figure in the underworld, and his quiet legacy endured. Documentary depictions. Cirillo's low-profile nature meant that he never became a prominent figure in mafia documentaries, which tend to focus on more flamboyant mobsters like John Gotti or Vincent Gigante. However, in the occasional documentary or true crime series about the Genovese family, Cirillo is often mentioned as a behind-the-scenes power player who helped keep the family together during difficult times. He is typically portrayed as a contrast to more public-facing mobsters, exemplifying the type of mafia figure who operated quietly and efficiently. In a documentary setting, Cirillo might be described as someone who represented the old-school mafia's preference for discretion and control, traits that kept him out of the limelight but firmly in power. Interviews with law enforcement officials and mafia experts often highlight Cirillo's intelligence and ability to maintain order within the Genovese family, especially after the chaotic leadership of Gigante. Dominick Cirillo passed away quietly in 2022 at the age of 93. His death marked the end of an era for the Genovese family and the mafia world. Cirillo's life, characterized by his careful, quiet approach to organized crime, left a lasting impression on the underworld. Even in death, he remained a figure of respect, a testament to his long career in one of America's most dangerous and secretive organizations. Though he never achieved the celebrity status of some of his counterparts, Cirillo's life is a compelling story of how a quiet man rose to the top of one of the most powerful mafia families in American history. Thanks for tuning into Sika True Crime Docs. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating tales. Your support helps us keep bringing these stories to life. See you in the next episode.